And as your first alert election station, CBS 7 is determined to make sense of your crowded ballot, both statewide and locally. With Attorney General Ken Paxton under 2 investigations and having only won his race by 3% in 2018, this year's election for the position is shaping up to be the most competitive one yet. Yesterday, you heard from Eva Guzman, challenging Paxton in the GOP primary. Today, you'll get to hear from Democrat Joe Jaworski, who feels that his decades of experience in the Texas courtrooms as an attorney will allow for him to clean up the Attorney General's office. Take a look.
You have to be a Texas lawyer if you're going to be the Texas Attorney General. So, Dodge, I bring 30 plus years of solid courtroom experience, licensed by the Supreme Court of Texas. And I'm talking about federal courts, state courts all around Texas, north, south, east, and west. Appellate courts like arguing appeals, trial courts. And I think this matters because the Texas Attorney General is not the governor's lawyer, not the legislature's lawyer. He's the people's attorney.
Jaworski was elected mayor of Galveston shortly after a devastating hurricane ravaged the city, where it found itself losing 16% in population. However, there was a 13% increase under Jaworski's tenure, as well as a 10% decrease in crime.
During my tenure, we had community development block grant funds, and it was our job to spend them appropriately. And that meant bringing back the wastewater treatment plant and building it so that it would never flood again, a 500-year storm resilience, private homes, public housing, streets, lights and signs, fire stations. It was a great period of growth, and it was a real honor and a real joy to serve.
Jaworski's grandfather was a prosecutor in the Nixon-Watergate affair, and he is excited to use a legacy of his grandfather while addressing corruption within Texas.
So the legacy of Watergate, the legacy that Leon Jaworski argued before the Supreme Court is no one, absolutely no one, is above the law. Well, Dodge, what a perfect mantra for this race against corrupt Ken Paxton. And look, I'm sorry, I don't mean to ever be personal, but it's not personal. The Texas Attorney General is under indictment. He's under investigation by the State Bar of Texas, which I took an oath 30 years ago to practice law and uphold the Constitution. So did he. He took that same oath when he took over as Attorney General. He's being investigated by the FBI for bribery and abuse of office. He's being investigated by the United States Congress for his activity on January 6th. Enough is enough.
Jaworski also feels that the culture wars on both the right and equally on the left have become a distraction for governance and wants to focus on tangible issues that help Texans.
Less is more. Maybe that's a good piece of advice from Mr. Paxton, not that he'd follow it. So my view is, instead of filing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit to perpetuate the culture war, instead, let's focus on dollar and cents issues, income and, healthcare and utility rates, and really getting a fair shot at equal access to voting. And let's do something about corruption in state government.